Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go grind. Hey now, you're a rock star. Smash Mouth, yeah, man. Oh, man, shout out Smash Mouth if you're
Shout out.
watching. Come and hop on the show sometime. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker. Shout out everybody watching, by the way. King Meeks, you're already here. I see you. And it's Monday. I got Uncle Buck with me. How are you, brother? Are you good?
I'm good. I'll be honest with you. This has been a chaotic week slash weekend with the flu and everything else that's going on in my house. So I'm like, Monday's here and I'm ready. I'm like, okay, let's hop on the show. Let's go to work. Let's have a schedule. Let's do something that is expected for once. I'm ready for it.
I forgot that you had the flu in the house the past few days. You're probably just aching for any sort of normalcy. You're just like, please.
I'm just ready to like go to work and not be in the house because my wife's a school teacher, so she gets like 2.5 days every 2 years. You know how that works in Mississippi?
Yep.
And so it's like we've got to really split time. And if it's a long period of time, I got to take like 60% of it because I do have a fair amount of days. And so it's just been it's been chaos.
Well, I'm glad they're getting to feeling better, man. You know what else was chaos? We're just gonna jump right into it. We're gonna jump into the chaotic All-Star weekend that was 3 days for some reason. We're gonna just go day by day. Just gonna hit the first day, the second day, talk about what happened. See, you know what? I'm gonna put up this because I said this when I hopped on too, King Meeks. I said Uncle Buck is looking cool as all get out. So we're gonna throw up that because I agree.
If this is looking cool, people in Mississippi are very cool looking people. I'm wearing a pair of Carhartt jeans and a fire retardant quarter zip jacket.
Hey, guess what though? You ain't catching fire.
I'm not. Not from the outside. From the inside. Maybe.
From the inside. Love it, man. I wish someone would have caught fire during this. Okay, you're just giving me you're giving
so
these
many
for
segues.
I love
so
it.
Many segues.
We could just segue for like 4 minutes. We could segue for 5 minutes. I love it. So let's just start with the Rising Stars Challenge, which was Friday. The winner of that was Team C. Who was on Team C, you might ask? Well, that Team C was the team that I think we were all excited about. It was Devon Castle, Edie, Wells, Connect. They added Amen Thompson. I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know you could take a really good player and put him on a Rising Stars. Like all-star caliber player.
They were like, "Oh, we need somebody for the actual game, so we're just going to grab him." But I mean, this was cool. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. It's nice to see these young guys get a little bit of spotlight because they try.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Rising Stars game.
Yeah,
they started this little bracket thing a couple of years ago. I think, and it was kind of a hit immediately for me. I've always liked the Rising Stars thing, and it gives me more players. Like when the I wouldn't have turned it on if there weren't 2 Grizzlies on there. I mean, if I'm just being honest with you, I say I like it, and I do like it. I like the format and everything, but I wouldn't have turned it on if Edie and Wells wasn't on there. And then I found myself realizing how awful it is to be a Jazz fan because homeboy just keeps shooting the ball still. Like even man, he is a chucker, man. And I've just blanked on his name, but
Keontae George.
Keontae George. I mean, it just gave me flashbacks to the first game of the year when Utah was competitive, and that boy shot. He went like 4 for 25 in that game. He just kept shooting.
I didn't understand it. I was like, brother, you know what are we doing? What are we doing? You know what game this is, right?
Right.
It's good to see them have fun though. Like Friday for me, Friday night. Friday night's the best night because those dudes actually are going out there and they seem to have a little pride with what they're playing with, which I enjoy.
Yeah. And I think if you want to know why Amen Thompson was added, it's in case that team were to go up against the OGs as they did, and they were trying anything to get them to, have a pulse.
They really were. They were trying really hard, and I mean, maybe Amen Thompson is the jolt that they needed. I will get to the Sunday stuff later. The day 2 Saturday stuff. I mean, there was a whole slate of stuff Saturday. They kind of kept the stuff going. Saturday started with the skills challenge.
Yeah, so all I did was see the controversy over that.
With the Spurs.
I didn't watch any of the skills challenge.
I didn't either.
And shame on Chris Paul because he is the smartest person in the world. He's everybody. What do they call him? The point god. One of the smartest, most cerebral point guards to ever play the game, and he just totally went full Bernie Madoff on us. Feel it. Tried to just game the system. Not Bernie Madoff, Jordan Belfort. That's who I was thinking of. Wolf of Wall Street. Just totally trying to scheme his way to the top, and I hated it. Corrupted, just innocent 7 foot tall big man, Victor Wembanyama. You took him down with you. Yeah, that was not a good example to set.
It wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look for CP3 when this might be his last. I don't know. This might be the last time people see him in an all-star game in any sort of capacity.
It should be.
Yeah. Take him out back.
It was just like in a all-star weekend where everybody's like, please care, please care, please care. The first glimpse we saw of like real all-star level NBA players was Chris Paul absolutely caring the least.
Well, so Parrish is saying that Draymond confirmed it was Wemby's idea.
Okay. Well, then send him back to France.
Get him out
where
of
all
here.
the cheaters live. We have established that the United States is the gold standard. We just beat Canada in hockey.
3 fights, 9 seconds.
Free bird after every single goal. Won every single fight. American dominance is a real thing. And if you want to come over here from France and cheat in our game,
in our skills challenge,
you go back.
How dare you make a mockery of the skills challenge, Victor Cheat Wembanyama, whatever your name is.
Oh, yeah, that plane ride's going to feel very uncomfortable when we put you in coach.
Oh God. Can you imagine? That dude's tall. I'm gonna put this up here. If the former players union head doesn't give a hoop, what hope do we have? What hope do we have?
Not one hoot was given when
there wasn't a single hoot given. Then was there any hoots given in the 3-point contest?
I mean, I thought the 3-point contest was a dud.
I did too, man. I thought this one sometimes.
I wish that the 3-point contest at its best is elite appointment television.
Yes,
it's great. They really did Steph a disservice by not going through with the Sabrina thing and then not having him be a part of it at all. The fact that Buddy Hield was in the finals as a Golden State Warrior and not Steph is just atrocious. And it just doesn't feel like there. Am I wrong? Am I just maybe the people in the comments? Wayno is a basketball historian here. Am I wrong to think that even the 3-point numbers are down? Like just the volume, the amount of points scored in 3-point competition is down.
It felt lackluster as a whole. I mean, I remember it used to be like it'd be flamethrowers out there, man. Back when we were growing up, I remember those dudes just like, maybe we're misremembering, but I remember these dudes just like making every shot they took. Every shot.
It feels that. I feel like we used to see guys go on 10, 12 basket streaks. And then the top 3, I think the third place finisher to advance in had like 18. I'm like, come on.
It just, which I mean, case in point, it's starting to feel like they're putting the effort that fans like you and me go put out when we go out there and not pop up threes. I mean, a fan won $50,000 by beating Dame, right? Like $100,000. Like
that was the best part of the weekend.
It was the best part of the weekend was for that guy winning his money and just a good shot too.
The only dude of my color that I've ever seen named Jaren.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I mean, have we ever seen a white Jaren before last night?
Nope. I don't know any.
Never.
Nope. Every one I'm about to say, I'm like, no. Wayno brings. They had to bring in extra balls worth more points to get the numbers up.
I know that's what I was thinking too. I was like, you think the scores would be even higher because you added 2 3-point shots. It's 2 shots worth 3 points, and none of them even make that shot. It's half-hearted, and I think that's the
Pale Jared.
What you take away from it is like, it don't matter what you're going to do this weekend. The players are just going to go at it half-hearted. And if If you're okay with that, then enjoy the weekend for what it is. If you want competition, then just do yourself a favor and don't watch it. Yep. There's way too much discourse over this. There's way too many people boo-hooing and complaining over something that we know is going to happen. So if you hate the lack of competition, then just go watch U.S. Canada play hockey. Because we won.
Because we won and we fought. Oh man, I love hockey fights. Well, we should brought Tyler Hero won. We mentioned it. We didn't even just say who won. If anyone cares, Tyler Hero won.
I mean, cool.
Yeah, cool.
The final three was what? Him, Buddy Hield, and was it Garland?
I think it might have been Darius Garland.
Yeah, I mean, give me a more boring. I mean, I should have just turned the TV off right then.
Then yeah, well, and instead of turning the TV off, we got to see big
weekend for white kids.
Big weekend for
white Jaron, Mac McClung defends for the second time, making him a 3-time champion.
The NBA is jumping on. They're like, oh, the Chiefs didn't get that three-peat, but we've got a three-peat. I've seen the term three-peat pop up all over everything. And I'm like, look, Mac McClung's three-peat is quite different than what the Chiefs three-peat would have been. A little bit different.
Listen, I mean, I was kind of thinking that Adam Silver wanted Mac McClung to lose this because he doesn't want to keep having to run him back out there. But I think I'm totally wrong about that after seeing it again. Like, he is the only thing keeping this thing alive. He was amazing. Yeah, and the most impressive part is that he doesn't miss dunks. No. Like, he just goes out there. He's like, okay, you can give me a minute and a half. I'll take 15. And I'll dunk the ball. I'll get a 50, and then we'll move on, and I'll collect my trophy at the end.
Yep.
Just impressive.
It's and this is going to sound like it's shade. I'm not throwing shade his way. He's sort of like the 3
straight years a white kid that's 6 foot has won the dunk contest in Black History Month.
He's becoming the Carrot Top of the dunk contest, and I don't mean this in a bad way. It's like the prop comedian. He brings stuff in. He brings in Akia. He brings in Evan Mobley, and he's like, look, I'll use these props and I'll give you a wild dunk. I kind of respect it, because he jumped over a car. Shout out Edward. He jumped over a car. I can't jump over a stair.
For real. And I trip every day on cars that are sitting in my sitting in my floor. Just Hot Wheels that are sitting in the floor. I can't make it over it. And he's jumping over a Kia sedan. That's funny. Listen, he's just so creative, and it's not. He does have props, and I get that. He pulled the little the hover round out and did the thing like Aaron Gordon did one time, and I mean, it was just fun. Yeah, it was just fun. Absolutely fun. Stephon Castle was really good too.
Yeah, yes,
but I have so much respect for the getting it on the first attempt. That last Stephon Castle dunk was awesome, but it took him 5 times to get it. And I was in my mind, I was knocking off a point every time. Yep. I was just knocking off a point.
Yes.
And so for him, just go out there and execute the first time, every time. And they're impressive.
Yeah. They're not like they're run of the mill dunks. They're actual, damn.
Right.
Feats of athleticism is what that kid's doing.
Yeah. You remember when I believe it was Blake Griffin jumped over a car too, who jumped over a Kia?
Yeah.
Max was cooler than Blake Griffin's. And also what I was telling my wife, I was like, this is what I like about dunk contests, or what makes it stand out. It's the short folks. The short folks look so much more impressive when they're doing these crazy dunks than the tall guys, because the tall guys don't look like they're really leaving the ground. And Mac looks like he is soaring.
Yes.
It's so much more impressive when you're short.
You put Andre Jackson Jr.'s dunks, where he was just a bigger dude than Max. It just looks like he's not getting any hang time, where Mac is flying. He's literally, he has to give himself so much verticality when he jumps. And you see, there's all these stills. You're like, man, that white dude's he's got muscles. I'm just like, he's jacked, dude. That dude is jacked.
Do we want to talk about what happened on X.com after the dunk contest?
I was going to ask, are we talking about one Mr. Morant's comments trying to recruit? Yeah, let's talk about it. So Ja tweeted on X.com, formerly Twitter, Mac, I think it was like Mac trying to get me to dunk. Something like that. And then I think
Ja's had enough of the white dude winning too.
He's had enough of, and it sounds like everybody has, because Giannis wasn't even involved, and Giannis ain't even at. Giannis is like, hey, you do it, I'll do it. Yeah. And then he goes around trying to recruit. It looks like he's trying to get Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine all involved. Yeah. Do you think it's all smoke and mirrors? I would love if it wasn't, but I think it is.
No, I think it's 100%. Heat of the moment, excitement watching that you were, but I guarantee you he woke up the next day, his agent was like, so, the NBA is really wanting to know. Well, Mike Miller called him. He's like, hey, so the NBA is like really excited about what you put on Twitter. Are you interested? And Ja's like, nah, man. no, there's no chance. There is no chance that Ja Morant, without a significant pot of cash sitting at the half court line, Ja's gonna ever do that.
Yep. It's so fun in the moment. Like it's really, in the moment I got caught up in it. I was like, oh man, Ja, LaVine, Aaron Gordon, like this is some good stuff. And but where did Wayne know? We don't want another LeBron James situation where they.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Yeah, which we're going to talk about LeBron later.
Brent Barry for life. The chat's popping off. If y'all are on Twitter, get over to YouTube. Get in the chat.
Get the chat
popping off.
I want to put all these up there.
Facts over here.
Daniel Greer is in the middle of Black History Month over here.
just stumping for the.
I do.
The white dude.
My favorite thing about Mac McClung, I will say, is he hoops like I hoop. Just in terms of headband. When you have long hair, watching the hair, like, I think I might be taller than Mac McClung. I want to see if anybody knows how tall Matt McClung is, hit us up in the comments. I'm curious. I'm going to look it up real quick. Well,
I think I looked it up the other day. I think it said 6'2", but I feel like that was generous when I asked the Google.
This looks like a photo ad when you Google him. 6'2". Yeah, you're right. Google has 6'2". So he is my height, and I can't jump for crap.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, me neither.
I will see. 6'2". Thank you, DG. I mean, I will say I'm happy for this kid because you look at the photos afterwards, and I don't know. He is peaking. This is his peak. This kid looks so happy in these pictures, and I feel really good for him because he seems to genuinely. There's no ego, no pride with this kid. He just seems to genuinely love to go out there, and I appreciate it.
And I'm sure that he kind of resents the fact that this is what he's known for. The dude has a career in the G League. He's always wanted more. He's always wanted to make that big league roster to impact. And the truth of the matter is that, like, him as a basketball player is a G League basketball player, but he is an elite NBA dunker. And so I appreciate him for just like not being sour about it, just being like, this is what I do, and that's okay. If I'm only known for the winning the dunk contest, then I'm fine with that.
He's a specialist.
He's made more money winning dunk contests than he has in his career NBA/G League earnings.
Dude, that is. I've never actually sat down and thought of it. I've got a book about the G League on my desk. They don't make diddly squat down there. You're absolutely right. He has made way more money winning these dunk contests.
The rough stats of it were like he has made like $120,000 in his career in the G League, and he's made $300,000 in the dunk contest.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, it's like he became a specialist doing something that really doesn't have much place during a modern NBA game, but for All-Star Weekend, he gets that. It's like he gets that car out of the garage and he's like, "Let's rev this sucker up." I don't watch enough. I don't watch enough games that aren't the hustle games. No, but it sounds like he's hooping in the G League, a triple. I mean, it's G League.
I wish it wasn't the case. Yeah, it's a vast difference in the two games. It's a vast difference.
So this, I'm going to put this up here. Man, the chat's going wild. Daniel Greer, shout out. The NBA should have paid Mac $100,000 to call out Ja Morant and Zion.
Oh, why have they not done that before? Yeah, just like WWE style. Cut a promo right there at midcourt. Ja Morant, you think you're the best. You think you're the best, but you're too scared.
And then you hear Is
Zion,
that Jaren Jackson Jr.'s music?
Stick legs? Well, I think they're made out of soft butter.
Can we get Jim Ross in here to call the dunk contest?
Oh, and John Morant show up with Paul Heyman. Like,
my God, that's John Morant's music. Oh God, my God, it would be so good.
Oh man, they're missing out. They're missing out on so much. Why are we not commissioners of the NBA?
I don't know why they don't get a wrestling person in, because the mascots. I saw Super Grizz dress up as the Undertaker, come out there and tombstone a guy in a turkey through a table, brother. I need more of that.
I watched a whole love story between Grizz and whatever the girl Grizzly's name is, and Nash stole her at the wedding.
What?
He left with Nash. Yeah, and then it was great.
It was great.
Whoever designs the story arcs for the Grizzlies family, all right, sign them up.
Sign them up. We need to sign them up to lead the NBA and sign them up to do something about this All-Star game. We're just going to go into the Sunday game because there was a lot that happened Sunday. The Timu. Okay, gosh. All right. The Shaq's OGs won the All-Star game. How would you describe Sunday in 2 words?
Oh, it was awful.
I was going to say shit show.
But it wasn't even the best. Like, the basketball was fine.
Yeah, basketball was fine. Basketball was fine.
That's the crazy part, is it was a real hot button issue for everybody to go into it. But I hate it when you sacrifice. All these things are the same. The Pro Bowl is the same way. The MLB All-Star game, all these things made for TV just get ruined by TV and just trying. Like Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. Top 2 comedian of my generation. Like
funny guy.
They did him no favors. Everybody hating on Kevin Hart right now. Dude, they just tried to, rub the Kevin Hart genie bottle and him come save it and have his little funny bits throughout. It was too much.
Way too much.
It was a 45-minute break when it was 11-3 or whatever in the final game, so that they could honor the NBA on TNT folks.
What was that? Like what was
it was ridiculous. And I was actually impressed with some of the level of competition.
Yes.
Some of it.
Yes.
I mean, there were players out there who were playing. Dalton Connect and Jaren Jackson Jr. tried really hard to win and play defense against that world team.
Yes.
And it wasn't all of them, but you could pick out some folks that were really trying. And it was the young guys, which gives me hope for the future.
Yes.
But the broadcast, the scheduling, the broadcast, all that stuff was just atrocious, man. How do you sit there and watch that?
You watch it on mute, you get up and do other things. I mean, like it was deeply confusing to watch the broadcast because I was trying to figure out what was going on. There were all these stops. And I mean, it's like the end of every NBA game now, all these unnecessary stops and starts, except this one had Kevin Hart narrating it when we didn't need that. It was so. And then I just don't know. And the LeBron stuff, which happened an hour before the game,
Have you ever heard of a game time decision for an All-Star game? I mean, how stupid is that?
It's the stupidest, and it's so like it's the kind of stuff that really makes me think. And I like LeBron a lot, but this kind of stuff, it's like, dude, get your head out of your ass. I mean, like I don't.
Oh yeah,
it's
I'm
just
a LeBron fan.
Me too.
I've always liked LeBron. As a person, as a basketball player, I respect LeBron James. I'm not a hater,
but
because there are people that just hate on LeBron James just to hate. I'm not that guy. This was shameful.
Yes.
Like, you are Mr. NBA. You've been in the league for 25 years. You're 57 years old. You're still good enough to make an All-Star team. You're a top vote getter. And then 30 minutes before a scrimmage in which it's proven that you don't have to actually do anything that results sweating,
especially on your team,
you just bail. Like, what are you talking about?
Which
so stupid. It's shameful.
I agree. And Anthony Edwards deserves some heat too, because he also sat late and he said, he was like, oh, if only I would have had more time to warm up. It's like, brother, don't give me that. Don't give me that baloney. Like,
all right. So this is something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if y'all watched it or not, but over the weekend, Jaren Jackson Jr. sat down for like a 45-minute interview with Taylor Rooks on awesome. YouTube on Bleacher Report. You watch it?
Yeah, I've seen bits. I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing. I've seen bits and pieces.
Well, I did some driving this weekend, and I listened to the whole thing, and he made the comment that I'd never heard of before as one of the cons for players playing hard in the All-Star game. And he was like, when they prepare for 82 games, and just a regular 82 games, they start training for that in the morning. They start getting up, getting loose. They have their scheduled naps. They have their scheduled meals. I get to the gym at 3:45 and I do 45 minutes of this, and then I go and do this, and I go. And the All-Star game, they book them up with appearances and television and everything else. It's like I think that these well-oiled machines are a little bit scared to go full bore. That's the way it was presented to Jaren. Jaren presented it to me, which made me think of it in a different way. But he said that this year, that with this thing, it's almost like they've tried to help appease them in some form or fashion. Yeah. It obviously wasn't enough. But listen, if that's what it takes, listen, no media the day of the game. Yeah. We're playing 48 minutes, East and West. You get here, you do your routine, and you just treat this like an 83rd game.
It does seem like it. I mean, it seems like East and West. I'm just trying to read what the players. It's funny. They were all ready to not just like they had their own opinions about this, like how to fix it. It seems like East and West is where people want to go back to. Give me that. If they're going to, I would give me a full game. Like if that's the reason these guys are giving for like not playing. And Jaren is such an eloquent speaker at explaining this. I would say what the league, what his generation as a whole feels about the game. I think he's really wonderful to hear talk. Because leading up to the game, it did sound like he was saying, "Hey, we want to set a new pace for this. We want," and Jaren was one of the ones you watched that game. You're like, he's trying. Yeah, he's trying to set a tone and wants people to. He wants to take pride in this, which I, as a Grizzlies
fan, he's doing post moves.
Yeah,
he's playing a little bit
post moves. Yeah,
he had a pretty impressive block on Donovan Mitchell. Yep. Jaren's one of those guys you could tell that he was like he's a only child raised by an NBA veteran and a mother who's an attorney working in the WNBA, leading the WNBA Players Union. Yes. And it's just like it's obvious every time he speaks. Yeah, he's goofy, but you can be goofy and smart and intelligent and well spoken. The dude just always makes his point just perfectly. I can see him as he gets into his 10th, 12th year in the league, just being the president of the Players Union, being the guy that's asked every single hard question that comes down the pike regarding the players.
Yep. I am very excited for those days because it does seem like that he's the NBA is realizing they're integrating him more and more and more into their product as a whole. I would say.
They were so bad for him to get out of Memphis and go to a big market team.
Ain't happening, bro. Ain't happening. Please no target scored trash. It does seem like everybody is trying to figure out ways to change this. One thing that I did hear as possible changing, I don't remember who said this. It might have been Dame, suggested an all snub team as the fourth team.
I saw that.
Yeah. Because I do think Wayno is saying you can't throw more money at these guys as incentive. It's got to be a bigger incentive. So the pressure to perform comes from the teams. I just don't know.
I don't know. I tend to think that the money obviously worked when it came to the in-season tournament.
Yes.
But these guys they were fighting for the guys on the end of the bench at that point, though. These guys are all $40 million players.
These guys are made men.
Yeah. I like the target score. But I like the target score more like the Elam ending where you play 3 quarters and then add 25, and then you're playing the fourth quarter to 25. The winning team's number plus 25.
That's what I prefer. That's if you're going to do it like that, I would rather do that target. That the Elam ending is better.
Yeah, I don't know what you do, but you got to do something. Draymond Green went on an absolute tirade. Which, I'll be honest, I hate Draymond, but I love it. He's a former player and I guess part-time TNT employee that's got a contract with the NBA. And he went on there and just absolutely roasted this.
Dude, he went off.
Made good points, I guess, about how this doesn't sync up with like historical records and it'll never matter. And Steph will never get the opportunity to be the all-time winningest all-star game scorer, all this other kind of stuff. Like I get that. I still just land on the spot where it's like, if the players tried, we wouldn't be having this problem.
Yep. I mean, and it's so simple. It seems like such a simple solution, but I agree with you. It's like if the players just gave a bit more effort, it just seems like it would be a more enjoyable product. I don't know.
Yeah. It's all it is. It's all it is. It's effort. You know, we can complain about the broadcast. The broadcasting problems were because we played three smaller games in order to try to fix the competition issue.
Yep.
You fix the competition issue, you go to a full 48-minute game. You don't have all this bickering back and forth. You don't have Kevin Hart for 45 minutes trying to roast Chuck. You know,
you don't have 30-minute player intros. Yeah.
All you've got to do is just play basketball competitively.
Yep. If they just play a competitive game, the format issues are non-existent because you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about these mini tournaments and these target scores and these if you just play a game.
This was very difficult.
Yeah.
What is it? You know, that meme is like breaking worst person you know makes a good point. It's like that was
oh, you mean shout out King Minks. He says, hey, that's future Warriors coach Draymond Green. Sir. No.
I do dread the day where he's going to be like the full-time inside the NBA guy.
Like he'll
I'm not going to look forward to that. Yeah.
He can be a lot. He can be a lot on Mike. That's enough. We talked 30 minutes about the All-Star game, and I that's probably more content than it deserves. I don't know. It was fine. Change it and do better next time, guys. What did you do this weekend other than watch the All-Star game, brother?
Yeah.
Because it's
was
Monday.
A pretty slow weekend. If we're my Monday of the weekend was I didn't have the flu. That was great. That was great. My lasagna of the weekend was college baseball started up. And I know this is a niche thing. Me and Buckets. If you're a college baseball fan, the only place you're going to hear anybody talk about on this network is on our show. And we're not going to bombard you with it because I know it's very niche. But the SEC schools do an amazing job with college baseball, and it matters more here than anywhere else. And we love it.
It's good.
Ole Miss started off college baseball season in Dallas, Texas, playing at the at the Texas Rangers Stadium for a tournament.
Oh, nice.
They played who did they play that first game? They played Clemson, Texas, and dang it, I just forgot. But anyways, they went 2-1 against three good teams.
Nice.
Arizona.
Hell yeah.
And so they went 2-1 against three good teams. I was very happy. Good weekend.
College. There is something about college baseball in the South. I agree with you. Like UT Vols baseball games, we get a lot of good SEC baseball, and it's a lot of fun.
I will not spend any time talking about Tennessee's baseball team.
Fair. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. We don't have to talk about UT's baseball team.
No. On Monday, I guess, we still were kind of dealing with the flu, but we were on the back end of it, so it's not like it was great. Like I just had an excuse to stay home all weekend.
That's awesome, man. That's it. If you're on the tail end of it and everybody's manageable, that's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
My Mondays. My Monday. We work outside a decent amount. Mm-hmm. This cold, I'm sick of this cold, and I don't know whether to blame the groundhog. I don't know whether to blame the farmer's almanac. I don't know who to blame for this long winter, but I wouldn't be upset about it if it didn't get warm and then get cold again. But it's staying cold has really messed with me, and I'm going to complain about it.
I hope this is what they're in the farmers call the blackberry winter. You know, it's the last one that kills all the blackberries.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So I'm really hoping that this is the blackberry winter here, and that after this cold snap, the end of this week, we start trending up.
I need it. I need it, man. They can't keep. I hate the tease. The weather teases it. Mother Nature is such a tease, and I hate it. I hate it. My lasagna was pretty awesome. My mom's birthday. Well, her birthday's today. We surprised her. She turned 60. Me and my partner Kyla, we drove, and all my siblings drove, and some of my mom's friends, we drove and surprised her for a fancy dinner yesterday evening. Nice. She had no idea we were all there. She walked in. She was really surprised. It was great. And then we had to drive back yesterday. But happy birthday, Mom. I know you're not watching. I'll call you after.
Happy birthday, Luke's mom.
I will call you after the show. But yeah, birthday with my mom was my lasagna. Monday was
my mom turns 60 in September. Did your mom take it well?
Yeah. Yes. I kind
My
of
mom is
forgot.
dreading it.
I think it helped that I think we kind of all forgot that she was 60. We just knew it was her birthday. I don't think we realized it was that one. And I was like, oh, crap. So no one really focused on it too much. I was like, oh, 60. Nice. That's kind of what I was like, So
I told my mom, I was like, listen, you've got a 32-year-old kid, a 30-year-old kid, and a 28-year-old kid. What do you expect?
Yep.
To be 50?
Yep. Yeah, like do the math, mom. Do the math. The math ain't mathing. If
you know what
your
the
children
alternative to getting older is? Being dead.
Dying. D-Y-I-N-G. And I don't want that. I don't want that, man. We don't, man. We're gonna be back tomorrow. That's gonna do it for the show today. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna figure it out. We don't have any Grizzlies games till Thursday. Yeah. When they play the Pacers, so we got a couple days to kill. We'll figure out something to talk about.
Yeah, I think me and Buckets are going to maybe try to get creative tomorrow. See what's end of season predictions, stuff like that. And so we got 2 shows before we even play again. So.
Yeah, so there's going to be shows like. Even though there's no Grizzlies basketball, we will have shows this week, everybody. So go make sure you go to bluffcitymedia.co. Check us out on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that stuff. That's going to do it for our show today. Take care of yourself today. Stay warm if you're working outside. It's going to be chilly all week, unfortunately. But remember these 2 things as you go about your day, y'all. Remember to be a little bit weird, just a little bit, and remember to smile. Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Oh, God. Yeah, there it is. See y'all. Have a good day.